Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Cosolix. Today we are going to be going over Lance needs a couple changes and what changes they are, and is it bad, is it good, and yeah, just basically how to balance Lance, because Lance is never really balanced, and I'll explain that in a bit. But if you guys do enjoy this type of content and these balanced videos, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and comment. Link to the Discord is down below. And yeah, let's get right into this. But so yeah, I said earlier that Lance is never balanced, and this is because Lance is either the worst or one of the worst weapons in the game, or the best and one of the best. Because Lance is weird. It's the only weapon that has linear horizontal movement. Like Cannon Sarah, sure, but if you look at these hitboxes, it's a lance. It's kind of like Spear and Light, but like for all its move. Sarah, even Dare is just a bit more diagonal, but it's very linear. Right? The only move that isn't linear is Nair and Downlight, but you got End Light, Side Light, Sarah, Dare, uh, and like yeah, not the light, yeah. So like that's most of its moveset, and even like recovery, very linear. Ground pound is also linear. Doesn't use a linear part, but it's vertical, right? Yeah, just Nair isn't linear, and like D-light's technically linear. So yeah, even D-light. But so yeah, it's very hard to balance based off that because every other weapon is like a mix of both. Like that's diagonal, that's horizontal. That's not linear at all. That is completely different. Like you could say it's linear, but side light's horizontal. This is a bit of both. Like you see what I mean? Every other weapon is kind of diverse, but Lance is very straightforward. You kind of know, like it's linear. That's the word. So it's hard to balance around that. And it's also not a string heavy weapon. You have a couple strings. For example, you've got like Sarah End Light at 2 dodge frames, Side Light there, End Light at 2 dodge frames. But, and like you can go like Side Light Nair, and then you can like keep going. Like Side Light Nair Dare is like 4 dodge frames, I think. 5, 4 on high decks. Yeah, 5. So yeah, like it has strings, but the weapon isn't very good. Like the strings, and here's the problem with Lance for me. The strings are too high. Like right now in this meta, string heavy weapons are the best weapons. And to get out of strings, you've got two options. One, you have a dodge, but that, if you waste it, it's a problem because you don't get it back for like 3 seconds in the air. Like, see, I'm trying to use it and I don't have it, but if I do it on the ground, you get it back fairly quickly. And also you have a jump. And jump is a 2 dodge frame startup. So if you do a move like side light sider, that's 1 dodge frame, you cannot jump out of this move. You can only dodge. And because you can only dodge, if you don't have a dodge, it's automatic, which means you cannot get out of side light stare if you land it and they don't, and your opponent wastes their dodge. Like if I dodge down and then you get hit with side light stare, you can't get out. You just can't. Same with like side light recovery at red. So how BMG should balance Lance, in my opinion, is give Lance a bit more consistent string. So something like Sarah and Light that really only works until like 50 damage at most. Like not even 50 damage. Something that's really only works at white. I kind of want to make these strings a bit tighter. So right now, Sarah Enlight is 1 dodge frame on Vrax, which I think is perfect. But even true on Vrax, I wouldn't have that much of a problem. And then if you get 1 dodge frame on anything lower than like 9 decks, right now it's 2 dodge frames, and 1 dodge frame would be perfect, which means it forces your opponent to waste a dodge, kind of like what D-Light Enlight is, where it's 1 dodge frame as well. Well, I think Scarlet is too, maybe. So like, yeah, tighten these up. Make this 1 dodge frame, because I think it's 1 dodge frame on Vrax. It might actually be true on 9 decks, but yeah, higher decks it's 1 dodge frame, 9 decks is true. But yeah, tighten that to 1 dodge frame universally. Maybe make higher decks true, because it only works until like orange. Something like Sarah Enlight. Make that into 1 dodge frame, just to make it so you force your opponent to use a dodge so you can keep stringing if you read the dodge. And other weapons have this. Something like cannon that has like 3-hit combos and like a move that like one of the best weapons in the game. And I don't want Lance to become a 5-hit, 6-hit string where you catch dodges and stuff like that. But something like Katars right now, where it has these follow-ups that are 1 dodge frame. That's 2 dodge frames if I can input it properly. I'm just missing this input. Maybe because of lower dex. I'm missing this. Maybe I need higher dex. I don't know how much dex. Let's go with Surrey. Surrey's pretty... There we go, 1 dodge frame. I don't know how much dex the Surrey has, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty standard. We can double check that later. Like, all that is 1 dodge frame. And then, once you get the dodge, you can kind of keep stringing, right? So, like, you can go, like, D-Light there, even. Like, see how that's 4 dodge frames? Let's say you get the dodge read. Like, once you get a dodge, right, it forces them to jump, and then you kind of know where they're going to go. For example, if I catch a dodge, and I land all of that, all they can do, in this case scenario, is jump. So then you set the bot, jump reaction up. So all I need to do is input this. You kind of know where he's going to go. I didn't land that down light properly. So certain moves can cover that option. So like I can chase dodge Nair. See how I caught that recovery? And that's all because you catch a dodge going into that dare. So like, let's say they dodge and then you catch a dare, you can land all of that consistent, right? On a Surrey. So all I want to do is I want to give Lance that option, but not to the same degree. I want to give it to a smaller degree. So something like in white health where you can do Sarah and Light. If they dodge, sure they can get out, but I would like that to be 1 dodge frame. Same with some like a string like side light there that only works in white health. Side light there, end light is currently 2 dodge frames. Maybe leave it at 2 and higher dex is 1 dodge frame. But making that type of 2-to-1 difference is actually huge. It tells you if you can jump out of the combo or not. And a jump is one of your only options to get out with a dodge. So yeah, like I kind of wish Lance had those coverages. And the problem with these 2-hit follow-ups is they're not safe to go for. Like if you can get out with a jump, which you could do as many jumps as you want unless I catch the user in the air somehow. But if you're being hit with a side light on the ground, then you're always going to get out of side light there, end light. Like if you can jump out. The only reason the bot didn't jump is because it doesn't jump at frame perfect, which is kind of stupid. Whatever. I am misinputting. But yeah, like bots can jump out, and not just bots, but people can jump out of that and dodge out of that. So you should never go for side light there and light unless you're in like a lower rank, because people aren't going to do that. But a higher elo players like Sandstorm, Boomy, they know to jump out of that. They know it's 2 dodge frames on Scarlet. So it makes it so I cannot go for that. So that makes me side light there, and then I need to wait, and then I need to hit them with nairs and side lights and reset neutral, which is... Resetting neutral is fine, but it doesn't give me an advantage. It basically puts us back in neutral game. Other moves like Katars and like even stuff like Hammer, as you do strings and as they try and get out, especially Scythe, you waste options and Scythe can keep covering those options. Lance doesn't have that. And I'm not saying that they should give Lance that option, but they should make it on the same like competitive wise as like Scythe, because Lance is more damage than Scythe and almost every other weapon in the game. Like Dare is freaking 24 damage. Like Katars do like 8 damage every hit or 10 damage. So like I'm saying, don't give Lance those options because that would be busted. But make Lance able to compete and at least keep another hit on these strings, because right now All Lance is a 2-hit, reset neutral, win neutral, 2 hits, reset neutral. Like, I'll do side light nair, reset, side light nair, reset, side light nair. Sometimes I'll go for a dare, but it's super risky. And this is boring. And it's not fun. And it's not balanced because it's bad. Like, no weapon in the game forces you to reset so often. Right? Only Lance does. So, especially in white health, you should be able to follow up easier. So something like side light nair or side light dare end light should be 1 dodge frame universally. Same with D light end light. I think it should be 1 dodge frame universally. Something like, and I don't want to give side light Sair true because something like that is a 2-hit combo that sends the user forwards. It distinguishes, or it eliminates the possibility for string follow-ups. And I want there to be more string follow-ups. It's more enjoyable to watch these massive combos. So something like side light dare needs to be fixed. Sair could use another stun. But it's mostly Sair dare and maybe D-light, which I'd add a stun to. And I'm not saying they should do this all at once, but small patches where they add a stun to Sair and see how Lance does, or they add a stun to dare and see how Lance does. If you add it all at once, then something here could be too good, and then it's the best weapon in the game. But all I want to do is slowly buff Lance so it's in that mid tier, and giving Lance these string follow-ups that are a tiny bit tighter would be perfect. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. If you do enjoy and agree, hit the like again, and say in the comments if you agree, and if you disagree, say why you disagree. One thing to keep in mind is when you're stating your opinion, you also need to imagine like the elo difference and also your skill capability, because Lance is the most played and has the highest win percentage in the game. It is the noob killer, but there are almost no pros that play it because of reasons like this. Noobs will not jump out of Sair and light. Noobs will not know what to do, and they won't be able to input a 1 or 2 dodge frame input, right? They're a lot slower to react. They don't know what they're doing, right? So you got to keep in mind things like that. If I'm saying to buff Lance, don't say like, oh, it's the best weapon in the game, because you look at pros' opinions and no one thinks it's the best weapon in the game. It's maybe the best weapon in the game against gold players, but that's not a reason for you to judge Lance's balance. You should judge it based off like how fun it is to play and to play against. But like, if I'm saying to change 1 frame, no one even knows, unless you're at least in platinum or diamond, what that's gonna do. Like, no offense, but you just don't know enough about the game. So like, you can have an opinion, but like, don't be like, oh, Lance is like the best weapon in the game, because like, I don't think anyone, no pro would say it's the best weapon in the game. So you got it. There's something off with that opinion then. But yeah, anyways, I'm not trying to shut people up, but yeah, please state your opinion in the comments. I try to reply to a lot of them. So yeah, anyways, yeah, peace. Love you guys.